Well, hello there, everybody. I think that this thing says, it says we're live. So we're live, and give me another chance to push that button. And how are you? This is a fabulous day. It is Monday, and Monday is Prosperity Day. So, yeah. So enjoy it. I mean, so how are you? So good to see everyone. Namasat Amashante. Hello, beloved abstract. Good to see you. David Barry, I've been thinking about you this weekend. Good to see you, my friend. Was just checking in on you. DC, good to see you. Sherry, hello, Jack A. Man, who did I see? Kayla, how are you doing, my dear? I think I seen Courtney. I think Julianne just went back to bed. Jet, how you doing? Good to see you. Hey, favor be upon us all. I don't know how many of you, how you do it, but I got to tell you, the second part of the book. Hey, David Castle, how are you and Rufus doing? Good to see you. Go. Nancy, hello. Good to see you, Lost in Space. Shannon, good to see you. Jack Dreamin', how you doing, darling? All the way over from the Wiltshire, UK. Yeah, Dave Sullen, how you doing, my friend? Bernadette, Loretta, much love to you, dear. John Price, Ann, good to see you. Elevated Lioness. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. How are you doing? Trina, much love. Going to be on with my favorite co-host tomorrow. Second look. Chloe, good to see you. Truth Seeker. So much love to you, Trina. As I was saying, it works. That it's a mantra now. I was busy doing things over the weekend, and it's now a mantra. Remember in the movie The Birds when they were, she was walking up to the school and the kids were singing that limerick? Well, if you put that same limerick to every day and every way, things are getting better in every way. You can actually get it. Now, I have been using every day and every way, gifts and good things are coming our way. And it was funny because as I started doing it, Lynn started doing it, and there was someone else. And it was almost like, the row your boat, where it, anyway, it was phenomenal. So hello, Colleen. Good to see you as well. So if you're doing it, I got to tell you, it works. Boss will be of service to others. And if you got a birthday today, hey, have a good one. And you're here for the experience. You are a master. And so the faster you master your environment, when it's time for you to cross over, it's just going to be like skipping. Skippity doo, I love you. Let's see, because this weekend, so I want to say, our egregore, by the way, gifts. This weekend, I received no less than 4 gifts out of the blue. And it just goes to show you that our egregore is true. And if you embrace the egregore, it brings gifts along the way. Yeah. So we have beautiful, talented people here. And when I went to our mailbox over the weekend, I was like totally blown away. Was not expecting this. This came out of nowhere. And so many of y'all are just so gifted in the gift of being able to express creation in a litany of colors. And I got this, and it's a beautiful frame, by the way. This was from Kayla and Darrington, who lives in Grand Junction, Colorado. Let me get this up close so y'all can see this. Is this just not beautiful? I mean, this is a lovely, I'm trying to get it to where the reflection isn't there, but bad. Anyway, Kayla, thank you. Brought a tear of joy because, when you get something, you're not even expecting it, and it just like blisses the socks off of you, and you go, wow. Thank you. Got to have you on. So let's get a time scheduled because I love to show your artwork. She also is into sculpting, pottery, stained glass paintings with oils, watercolors, pastels, technical pen drawings, charcoal paintings, and all other major mediums she works in. Wow. So I'll put this information in everywhere. And Kayla, again, thank you. Much love to you. Hey, Heidi, how are you, my love? Good to see you. Yeah, Delaney, good to see you as well. So, yeah. She says, here's looking at you. I love this. Beautiful, isn't it? Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, it's things like that. And it's going to be hung on the Hall of Fame behind me. This is work that Terry has done, Charlie and Terry. Charlie also sent me the prosperity sigil that he had made out of metal. But this is the Hall of Fame. So, yeah. Just beautiful, just beautiful. And I've got my laser grid protection. I mean, movement now where I can actually, set the grids up. And then my wife, I have a birthday coming up, but, wasn't expecting any of this. She goes out and I love you, sweetie. Got me something I've been really wanting for a while, some night vision binoculars. Got them yesterday and played with this well into the night. Wow, getting used to what it does. But I got to tell you, folks, there's stuff up there that we don't see with these. Our machines, they help us to become superhuman. I gotta tell you, yeah. So I have the tripod, where you set these up on, and you can record, I don't know, up to 4 hours, and it has a spare battery pack. And so I just went out and said, all right, let's just see what this does. I mean, I was already buzzing from Kayla on this, and so it was like the perfect day. First thing I saw when I pointed it up there was I saw it. This craft went across. Now it could have been a satellite, but it wasn't emitting any light that you could see up there. So anyway, Suzanne, yeah. Robert V says, yeah, he's got some. They're a lot of fun. I mean, you can really, they work. I mean, yeah, I can see all the way across the green belt into the neighbors on the other side. So yeah, it works. And as y'all know, it's a lot of fun. So yeah. I love this. So I'm just sending in here. Okay, so what else is happening? Yesterday was the last day of the workshop. Phenomenal. I don't know what the final tabulations are. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you, Grandpa Brian, and thank you, Lucky. Love Lucky, by the way. You and Courtney love the videos y'all did. Make sure to subscribe to those. Courtney, you're a great teacher. She's teaching on the Emerald tablets. Good gnosis going on over there. And Lucky, I got to tell you, these, what do you want to say? Mantras? All I know is they work, and it's actually easy. Every day in every way, good things are coming my way. Every way and every day. Every day in every way, good things have come upon me in all ways, from every way. And it's just so easy, and it's remarkable when you tie that into this egregore that we dearly love and adore. Gift, what a name. Thank you for your gifts and talents. I mean, it's better than Santa Claus, because this one really does give good presents. That's all I got to say. So, hey, Mary Wins, how you doing? Mary Wins, we all win. That's all I got to say. Janie, good to see you, my dear. So, I hope many of you are finding the same success. It is exciting for me to see what we've done. And we'll be getting ready for the next mission. So I also want to had a strange, I don't know. When I awoke Sunday morning, it was like I had been working somewhere else in, like, I guess that song, Ain't Working on Maggie's Farm No More. I don't know. I woke up and it was like, I knew I'd slept really sound. I mean, really sound. But wow. And the thought occurred to me, is there a necessity to help soul retrieval on the other side? Is there a class of beings? You may be one. And apparently you actually can volunteer for this. There are some that have a natural propensity for this. And then there is a class of species of beings that are totally, this is what they do. They go out and rescue souls. According to apparently what I was reading, there's not enough people in that call of duty. And as a result, there are some souls that do get trapped. So I'm reading this book. We're going to get into it later on, the book of soul retrieval. The premise of this is that if the reptilian race does exist, and if mankind, by that we mean homo, man, the question is, if sapiens are trapped, then were Neanderthals, Cro-Magnus? I mean, you can just go through the whole litany of the other genesis of man. But if we are trapped, and if this is by a draconian reptilian mind, the question becomes, well, what are they really wanting? Are they soulless? Are we a unique species of being that those that do possess such a thing as a soul, that these become very rare, very valuable in commerce on a galactic scale, maybe even on a spiritual scale? It seems to be a lot. I mean, you know, today is June 6th, 2022. So the 222s all add up to 6. And so we have 666. You know, today is the day that will live in infamy. Yeah. Courtney says, such a deep topic of conversation. David said, when I was young, I asked about heaven or hell. I'd say I'd want the Grim Reaper job, or at least get out and about. Yeah. it's interesting when you think about it that the spirit of death, which it is, that's what they say, it's an actual living spirit, that it's really nothing more than a transmutation construct. In other words, that's what this being does, is that when it interacts with the density of flesh in all of its complexities, because the flesh is stamped with the eternal code, so to speak. I mean, that's what the DNA is, that there has to be this transference from this third dimension density into whatever next dimension people go to. I'm convinced that not all go to the same places. I've said this before, not all humans have a human soul. We get this warped idea that we've all been created by the same being. That's a myth. It's a legend. It's religion. Because we're all not the same on the inside. We're very much different. And if you're not of the same species or of the same DNA of this earth, and if you're here not by choice, but by force, it's a whole different trip for you. If you are, in fact, the legacy of something much older, yeah, it goes, it's like, okay. I don't know if Palladians are real or not. Never met one. You know, I meet a lot of beings in the astral, but that's only because I'm versed to it. I took enough trips with Timothy Leary back in the day that, yeah, it's very unique. You see different things, but I became very well versed and began to know back then that we ain't alone, Dorothy. There's a lot out there. That's all I got to say. Prison planet and gay frogs. I don't know. I don't think that in some cases, I think a lot of us are just going to be surprised. I tend to be on the positive side because I really don't think that there is such a thing as heaven or hell. If there is a heaven or hell, it's here right now. Both of them. I mean, I guess if you looked at it and if you came into this life where every need was met or anticipated to be met, how would that experience be? How would it be if you are born into a bloodline that has a contract as either overlords, overseers, demigods, goddesses? How does that feel? But if you come into this world where you basically have to carry a bucket of shit every day in order to exist, it ain't a very good heaven, is it? It's a living hell. And if you come into where you're just barely getting by, but yeah, you're getting by, but then you meet the betrayal. You meet the distrust, the disdain. But you try to rationalize it all out because you want to balance this out, that you are a creature of love and that you are seeking a higher way. I mean, what better way to do that is in both the heaven and hell construct, right? Hell would be heaven for psychopaths, ain't it the truth? I mean, yeah, it gets really weird. And so today is 666 day. All right, so, you know, is there a code? Is there really a trap in this? One thing, you know, I love it because we get to do this once a year, but in certain years, it's even more significant. I mean, you think about 2006, 666, right? But there's also the confusion of the deception is that it's not 666, but in fact, it's 616. So I always love going into the archives and pulling one of the favorites out. And here we are. The Simpsons had so much subliminal messaging going on. Many say that the symptoms, yeah, the Simpsons are also an oracle. But if we look at this, and as I pull this up so we can all see it better, this is an interesting thing that we've got into. Because here again, with the Simpson, here's Maggie scanning, and look at the creature behind her. You know, it's the cockroach, right? And Maggie's soul that's being weighed comes up with the scan of 666. Yeah. So this, and it's a cool little book. If you want it, I'll be more than happy to send it to you, because it's very interesting how 666 has become this personification of evil. Well, if it's a personification of evil, then we're all evil. It goes into the fact that it talks about, for instance, the adjective noun numerals refer to numbers. Most Western writers use the Western Arabic number system. This system contains 10 base numerals, 0, although there was much contention about 0, and then, of course, then the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Higher numbers are categorized as multiples of tens and thousands, hundreds, thousands, and of course, tens of thousands, and so on. The number 666 belongs to the hundreds numerical categorization. Roman numerals is a well-known example of an alternative number system. Roman numerals represent, as you can see, the DCL capital equates to the number 666 in Western Arabic numeral systems. Hereafter, this book only quotes numerals using Western Arabic number systems. So you've seen this all the time. Once in a lifetime, 666, hell, yeah. Most messages in this book are communicated via the written form of the English language. The number 666 in words is written 666. This image below is an example of the content that overtly contains number 666 in text form. And the thing about it is everywhere. We know about symbols. We know exactly what symbols do. I don't think there's anyone listening to me that would really not have a good understanding of symbols. If there's a group that, and y'all are the group, to hang out with, to where you could really just really increase like your knowledge on symbols, this is the group. You know, the gathering is coming up in August. Be some far out conversations on that one. It says also something that stands for or suggests something else by reason of a relationship, an association, convention, or accidental resemblance. The arbitrary or conventional sign used in writing or printing relating to a particular field to represent operations, quantities, elements, relations, or qualities. An object or art. So here we go. Everyone, can you do the 6 thing? Come on now, hon. Do the 6 thing. We all get it. It's everywhere. How many performers? I mean, you know, John Travolta. I mean, it just goes on and on. So we've been doing this for a long time, baby. The old 666 thing. So it is not clear from this image if there is intent from the owner of this hand to communicate this number. If there is no intent, then the existence of 666 may exist only in the mind of a person or people who are not making that hand signal, those who are witnessing this hand gesture. Mouthing. Did you know you can mouth 666? A person can use their mouth to communicate number 666. 666. The Biden creepy whispering thing. Yeah. This can be done in various ways, such as talking, whispering, lip syncing, mumbling, or singing. Highways, 666. Rock groups, heavy metal, Iron Maiden capitalized on this. Why? Because it exerted fear. It made them, I didn't like their music. I don't find that type of music particularly to be music, but that's just my opinion. But nevertheless, 666 has been used in the rock industry almost from the beginning. Many say, in fact, rock music in its original form was nothing more than a hypnotic trance that was unleashed upon the world. Hmm. 666 is the number of the beast. Now, hell and fire was spewed to be released. That's what they wrote. But the problem here is that Steve Harris never really understood what he was really writing about. Because what Mr. Harris was a victim of was of a egregore that was far more powerful than any of this religion. Because if you believe that 666 exists, then that tells me you are trapped in this Judeo-Christian nonsense. Just my opinion. Performing in visual arts. Art directors can visually create and display images of the number 666. A lot of Chris Angel, saw him in Vegas. Weird show, but another one that capitalized on it. Why? Now, many say that these four lads were the patient zero. They were the ones who really spread this doctrination, this mind control. I love you, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, you think about the whole phenomenon of what happened with the Beatles. Was it, and I have read many, many books on this from many different points of view. You can take, for instance, the modern day Christian view, who at the time when the Beatles were being unleashed on an unsuspecting world, many in the religious sector saw these as messengers of Satan, nothing more. And that what they brought with them was debauchery, lasciviousness. I could just go sacrilegious, that they were heretics, tearing down, of course, the controversy of John Lennon back in the day when he said that we were, now, today it said that he said that we were more popular than Jesus. Actually, I believe what he actually said is that we're as popular as Jesus. And he was right, maybe even more. But nevertheless, here is the symbols. So were they, in fact, initiates, adapts? Were these four lads and the one mystery lad, McCartney himself? And what was the influence that Yoko brought into the mix? A lot of people say that there was some pretty heavy stuff going on. True? I don't know. Wasn't there. References to 666 may be coded in a similar vein into the concept of cryptic crosswords. Using search engines, readers can find numerous stories that theorize that the proper noun, World Wide Web, is a cryptic representation of the number 666. Have we all been duped? Suckers! Come here, my little sweeties. Come on in. Get some more of that black box. Yeah, you need to spend a little bit more time for letting me to get into your head. Do you know that the next thing coming is apps that can read your mind? How are they doing that? Have we actually been the experimental guinea pigs for the neural net? We thought that this was called the internet, but actually there was something far more nefarious taking place, all under the code and the cryptic representation of 666. Who is 666? Who is the author? Who is the architect? Is there a cult? Is there a species, a race of beings that this is, in fact, their moniker of who and what they are? Again, modern Hebrew, vav, 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 yohe, vave. Where have we seen that? Well, if you're really into the energy drinks that will end your life much sooner than you had ever hoped for, then you probably have been drinking this. Yeah. Weird shit, isn't it? And here it is right here. So, yeah, monster energy drinks. And they don't deny it. In fact, it's the type of marketing that they could never have paid for. Why? Because it ties into this whole cultural thing, It's like, yeah. And monster, I mean, it's everywhere. Again, and monster wasn't the first one to do it. As we go through, look at the logos. Again, Simpsons, 666. This was season 9, episode 6, 1997. Claims of 666. This chapter explores the different claims that 666 is found in corporate logos. Now, number of years, 3 or 4 years ago, we went into this because it's actually everywhere. You just aren't trained to see it, but you are. Here is Ottawa. There's the 666. And this is for public discussion, educational purposes about each and every one of the logos that we will be seeing. There is no recommendation, and there's nothing of any derogatory nature of which is being spoken about here. We're just merely examining what the impression is to the viewer. Now, the thing about Google is that Google is founded on 666. So what does this say about Google? Is Google satanic? Is Google really the mere representation of the true power? It's everywhere. It's into everything. Google is, for all intents and purposes, the modern day Diana, the great oracle. Yeah. And so if you do the analysis, it's everywhere. Strange, ain't it, darling? Walt Disney. Some contend that Walt Disney himself was a master wizard, and that his true purpose was you see, there is a certain energy that is produced by humans in the midst of being frightened, but at the same time enjoying it. Pleasure, make-believe, magic, possessing your soul, putting in the tentacle without you even knowing it. In fact, our society encourages it. Again, is this what we're dealing with? Is this how this came back? Here's another one. Cleverly disguised. Inverted, upverted. I mean, you look at this stuff and you go, well, why would a company ever want to replicate something that was so insulting? This is one that has always fascinated me, was Taco Bell. I mean, and it's right there. It's the 666. This is probably so much in your face. It's once you know it's there, it's like the Wendy logo. You know where mom is. And if any of you know, because I come out of that industry, marketing, graphic design, logo design. If you know what mom is on the Wendy's logo, you know what I'm talking about. But, I can't go buy Taco Bell without seeing, the 666. And you got to ask yourself, so what's going on? Was this intentional? Was this merely accidental? Do you see the 3 6s? It's all in the end. And this is what's weird. It's considered the base of the bell, but it's inside the bell. Fox News. Who would have ever had thought that Fox News really is Satan's broadcast medium? CNN and MSNBC, they're lightweights. No, what you really want is something that has, it appears to have one thing, but it actually does another. And so how do we get 666 out of Fox News? Well, it's very easy if you just know some about numerology, and we're going to get into some numerology. Not today, but again, if you go and do the proper letter count, Fox comes up with 666. My. The National Lottery. And there you can clearly see it. Everyone's going, yeah, I see that. Yeah. Now, it's interesting. Can I say this? No, I'll wait. But there is a code here. So, as you can see, it's everywhere. Well, this is just all mere coincidence, Steiger. I mean, there's no substance to this. Of course there's none. This is all mere speculation. I mean, we're just having a discussion near the water cooler. That's all. I mean, yeah. Cadbury's. Now, what? I always thought that the rabbit was so cute, right? Well, come to find out, yeah, it has a little bit more to it. There it is again, the 666. I often wonder if the graphic designers and artists do this intentionally, or is it almost something like automatic writing? Coca-Cola. Now, many of you are already seeing it as well, but yeah. And it's so clever. I mean, you have to admit, clever. But there it is. Procter and Gamble. Now, I have done many shows on this, but these guys, wow. I hired from Procter and Gamble back in the days at US Creative when they're up and coming bright marketing geniuses. She was just incredible. But Procter and Gamble is one. Now it's been revised over the years, but it still has, get this, the legacy logo and its minor image, the beast number 666, and 13 stars, the fallen angels, 2 horns of the false prophet, Crowley's blinds of obfuscation. And people call me an occultist. Well, I got to tell you, I'm in really good company. you know, quite a cloud of witnesses, because this, ladies and gentlemen, is what's indoctrinated and holds the world, every society, every government. This is what makes us victims. This is what makes us slaves. This is what makes us chattel. Look at your birth certificate. Why does it have the American banking note on there? Yeah. And when you see that this was propagated throughout the entire society, into schools, into religions, churches, mosques, all of it. If you buy from the beast, you support the beast. And before you know it, the beast begins to beget you. 666. Here's another one. Dreamcast. We see this as the sign of eternity, but it's much more, maybe, is the fact that we're trapped in a matrix where 369 becomes benign. Because when we realize where the 666 really has got us into the fix. This is a weird one. These guys are spooky no matter what. The Trilateral Commission. Now, this one, I have a sense, was deliberate. I don't think that they were going, oh, Joe, look what you got there. I haven't a clue, Hank. Well, I think it's remarkable. Yeah, I don't think that happened. And, and then you get the whole Rockefeller and, the World Council. I mean, it's, yeah. So they mean, and the Trilateral Commission is all about, by the way, is the Zionist entity of the New World Order, which contains a 666. Each arrow, when separated from the logo, is a 6, making 666. David Rockefeller created this organization based in the United States to soften America to the New World Order. The commission members include senators, congressmen, presidents, and many members of the cabinets and other presidents and other high-ranking world figures. The AMA. Now you're all are seeing it. Once you see this, and of course, here it is, the serpent, we can get into that too. So if the serpent is the author and originator of the construct matrix of 666, and yet we have that same construct representing healing, what's going on here? So how can something be so repulsive, so evil, but yet at the same time bring healing to our bodies? I don't know. Strange, isn't it? Radiant physics. Now you see it. I wonder if many presidents of these companies and their board of directors, when they approved these logos, because a logo is a sigil, which is a symbol, which identifies you, which has its representation in the ethereal realm. So here's CERN. Now, if this is new to you, well, yeah, I'm glad you're finally up there with us, but CERN is all about 666. And many of you can see it. It's obvious now. Man, in your face, huh? Just invert. Be alert. And of course, we've got to have, Shiva. She is the goddess of CERN. And they didn't make this secret. This was announced to the world. I think I did an actual show on this when they announced this, which was just, in one way, you could say, well, that was really bizarre. But if you really understand what Shiva is about, Shiva is the destroyer, but within Shiva, she brings Brahma, which is the creator of Vishnu. So through destruction, we bring new life, new discoveries. And she exists. They were here at one time. I'm not sure if they've left or just not taken a real interest in this, or maybe they have found other ways, not requiring the masses to worship them. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, and by the way, just to let you know, I thought this was interesting. So this is the statue of Shiva outside of CERN. The flames are known as the flames of destruction, or the Agni. The dance the smiling Shiva is performing is the Tandava, the cosmic dance which destroys the universe. The flaming halo that is around him represents time and is shown as a circle to symbolize the Hindu belief that it is both cyclical and without end. The energy, yeah. Now you got to ask yourself, so what's CERN about again? I don't know. This was, and I did a video on this, and if you've never seen this done, this dance, this whole celebration, something I can say, they may have ushered Shiva back into our reality. This play that was done at CERN was quite bizarro. Check it out for yourself. Symbolism, and you can't just say it was a play. There was something else. This was a ritual. This was a ritual that was attended by many off-worlders. Yet the world, for the vast majority, was ignorant of what was going on. They told us what was going on. They told us what they were doing. They told us what the mission was. We didn't want to believe it. I mean, come on, folks. This was opening a portal to a creature, a demigod. It's here. It's brought in a whole lot of its friends. It's here. And the thing about it was, humanity did not offer one voice in objection. Not one. No government condemned this. No church condemned this. No corporation condemned this. We wanted it. We want these demigods back so we can grovel, because after all, you're not worth anything. You're supposed to feel bad about yourself, guilty. Yeah. And I could go on and on about this thing. It was one of the most intense rituals I've ever seen. It makes the Pope's Easter and Christmas look like kindergarten. And then it's everywhere else. Lucky Charms. If you examine the General Mills logo, same thing. Same thing, honey. And by the way, luck has a lot to do with 666. If you're ever in a casino and happen to find a machine that happens to have one or more sixes, play it a little bit. You might be surprised. Anyway, Steve Jobs had an obsession with the number 6. He saw it as a very lucky number. And if you remember back in the day, as I do, here is the Now, back in the day when the first Apple machines were sold, you actually had to build it. But here you go. The kit was all right there. $666.66. By the way, it also includes 4K bytes of RAM. 4K. 4K. But it's the 666. You know, Lucifer. As I have said before, if Lucifer exists, that's the one angelic I really want to have tea with. I want to sit down and have a great conversation because I got a sense that it and I have a lot in common, and I think it has a lot in common with others. But again, if you go through the Hebraic Old Testament, the 666 is everywhere. 666 talents of gold. And 666 played a prominent role in building of Solomon's temple. I wonder why. Again, the Simpsons everywhere with the 666. And I could go on here with on and on and on. My Magic Pony, I mean, it's there. We see the all-seeing eye, the symbols, the hand signatures. It's all here. And again, the Simpsons. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I figured we'd give it its due. Why not? It's 666 everywhere. But if we just took a second and from the jocularity of the topic of keeping it light, there is a seriousness to this. There is a power structure associated with the way that these numbers are interlinked with one another. And you and I know, we've studied sigils enough to know that if they're arranged in a particular order, there's a reason for it. It opens portals. We all know in the sigils that as you see cars driving by, these are portable portals. Why? Because the sigil, the symbol, represents an egregore, a thought form. And the bigger the thought form, the more that have the sigil, the symbol, the more power it gets. And if, in fact, that the internet which was born from the ARPANET, which became the Ethernet, which was really exactly what it was, in fact, the Ethernet, to know that it merely emerged from 1 6 to 2 6s to 3 6s, weird stuff. So it's like, well, what the hell do we do with it now, Steiger? I don't know. You know, I guess it's at least counts for something to say, yeah, I'm aware of it. Now, yeah, there is maybe something we can do. Someone says Reese's candy. Yeah, I'm just reading in some of this. So it's a weird 666. So what is it? You know, I did, and I hope that here's the other thing that makes this, I think, even more, a little more spooky in the fact of what it does or maybe not do. Let's see if this will actually work. I guess I'm still. So this is programming. Here's the weird thing on every barcode. Every barcode is the number 666. This is the mark of the beast. No one in modern religiosity wants to accept it. The mark of the beast is here. If the mark of the beast is 666. And it's in the barcodes and the UPC codes. They're everywhere. But here is the thing. And if you don't believe me, look at it for yourself. It's on every barcode. So, the book of Revelation says that the Antichrist is going to use this for marking every cell. Well, partly right, partly. But here is the weird thing. 616. Now, this is said to actually be the true number. If you go for this stuff, now remember, this is all Judeo-Christianity, the Abrahamic belief systems. So if the Antichrist represents 6, Satan, which there is no Satan, even a card-carrying Satanist, who's a member of the Church of Satan, will tell you, if I get my card out, you have to understand there is no Satan, but it makes for good drama. And then we have the false prophet. So 616. 13 represents the rebellion against God, 12 plus 1, and the presumption of the Godhead, 1 and 3. Judas was the traitor, was the 13th person at the Last Supper. 1 equal God, 3 equal Trinity, 4 equal creation, 12 equals completeness in God's work, and etc., etc. So, now here is the weird thing, because Nero was who John the Revelator was writing about. So if the book of Revelation has already been fulfilled, what the fuck are we doing here? You really think that this is the tribulation? Do you really think that this comes down to just two opposites of a personality? So if it's already come to pass, what are we dealing with? And why do we find it necessary, give me 1 second, folks, to celebrate this day? Oh, well, no, it's because we celebrate it every day. So anyway, that was my little presentation for the 666 day. It should be a national worldwide holiday. It's everywhere. I mean, why don't we just go ahead and just make it, a worldwide day of feasting and celebration? Thank you, Janie. Jill says, giddy up now. All right, folks. That's all I got to say for the day. Interesting stuff, though, you have to admit. Courtney says 13 minus 1, rebel against that God, and take 13 ascension opportunities to my infinite creation. Yeah, to free myself. Yeah, exactly. That is it. I love this group. I mean, y'all are my best pals. I mean, best friends. So thank you all. This was fun. And we all respect everybody's beliefs here. And we're of a good nature. And, the fact is, this stuff has been carried forward on us. And it begs the question, why? Did they really know about this? It says, if revelation already came and gone, then are we keeping alive a zombie of sorts? Bet your ass we are. Yeah. I mean, it's just, we could get so much into this, Joe, but yeah, I love the point. Well, thank all of y'all. Tomorrow, Trina and I will be on with a second look. Thank you, Janie. David, very much love to you, brother. Miss you, man. Hey, Ginger, Lauren, how are you doing? My love, good to see you. And Heidi, I was surrounding you last week, had you deep on my heart, dear. So it is so good to see you. Love wins. Mary wins. You are absolutely right. It does. All right, folks, have yourself a far out groovy day. I'm going to go out and ride the Milky Way. It's the only way. Yes. Yes. We do rhyme here all the time, don't we? It's always just on time. That's the way I look at it. All right, Gracie, Regina, Brian, good to see you. Snake Jones. They won't listen. Stephanie, good to see you as well. Oh, Heidi, we love you, dear, and you are deeply upon my heart. So thank you all, you beautiful souls. Hey, Eye of the Maelstrom, good to see you. Connecting rabbit holes. I like that. Now that I like as well. AK Morningstar, good to see you. All right, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow with Miss Trina. All right. Bye-bye.